Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash, and it's Serie A week 11. And what a week we had last week, right across all the European leagues. I'd normally say subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. Ring the bell means that we'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. Also, you press the link in the description, then that'll take you over the articles wrote by Tan or Alex or Martin or all of our writers that cover any sport that we cover here on SBR. Now, the bit I was going to say is we normally say that you're our third guest in the chat, but today you're going to be our second guest because Tan's on CNN, because obviously Paolo Rossi, which is probably one of the biggest influences in the early 80s, 82 hat-trick, 82 Golden Boot winner in Spain World Cup. Absolute legend, and will be forever a legend, and he's obviously covering that. But he will be joining us as soon as he possibly can. So I'm going to need your help in the chat. So make sure you get it. Plenty fingers typing and also your thumbs up. Show the appreciation so that when Tan gets here, you prefer the show when he's not. So listen, let's give him a bit of stick as well because he's Tan. Now, Alex is going to be obviously with me. Alex, some of the games last week, I was so happy because I saw loads of dross that I'm now going to fade.
Yeah, the king of the draws is back. Flash is here. So how many we had? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them in round 10. And we'll probably have more this week. It looks like a good card for making money. Again, I went 3-0 last week in Serie A. Thank you. I'm trying to do the same again. I have 3 tips for this round of fixtures. There is no Champions League and Europa League starting this weekend, but we have midweek rounds, so be careful because we will be back with you guys for Serie A and Bundesliga next week.
This time on Monday, Alex. This time on Monday will be the Serie A show.
Absolutely. What to say to you? Inter out of Champions League, out of Europa League. They have more time to focus now on Serie A. They are just second in the standings, 5 points behind AC Milan. The season is long. We are just 10 rounds in. So imagine from 38. So we are like 27% of the race. Again, we'll not have a huge break for Christmas and New Year's Eve at SBR with our soccer coverage. So be sure to check us out, and we will bring you winners like we are already doing.
Yeah, it's been a great run, to be fair. I mean, we're starting to really get a handle on things. And all we ask is consistency. Consistency put with our analysis, put with our judgment, and obviously with our knowledge, and we will come out on top. And we are starting to turn it round. Before I go to the records, obviously, they're going to look a lot happier than they were last week. Vivek from India says, please, Flash, please come to India and have a live session with Virat Kohli. I'm not too sure that Virat's bowling. I might have to dish him straight out the ground. But Virat, one of my heroes, if anyone knows. I always wanted to be a cricketer, but I had to make the choice, and I chose football or soccer.
You chose good. So, you chose good.
I did choose good, but obviously cricket is my first love when I was younger. So
we have our viewers from Kenya, Jambata, Dominic saying what great picks on Shakhtar Donetsk. Thank you. Love from Nigeria. Manchester is ready this year. Sean is here. Vivek, Leon, Gaza, everybody's here. Andreas.
Manchester in red, Alex, is like this, though, and he's like, oh, I bet his eyes are still red where he's crying. But they shouldn't be crying. He shouldn't be crying because we told him 2 weeks ago. He had 2 weeks to get used to it. And then obviously in the game itself, we had Alex Classic. We had both teams scoring over 3.5. Both teams team total over 1.5. And a certain someone said he can see it being 3-2, which it was. Now let's have a look at these records then, please, Fab.
Also. And was saying Tancredi does say. Tancredi
is on Alex, minus 490, Tancredi minus 1.61, Flash up 3.46, Parlay's up parlay came in last week, plus 2.67. Now your total is at 0.38. So we've had the 10 weeks. We've been up, we've been down, we've been further down, and now we're near enough at parity. So now's the time to absolutely kick on. Now, remember, you are the second guest today until Tan gets here, so I need your opinions. Don't be shy. Also, press that thumbs up. Make sure you turn it blue. Gaza saying Sheffield best place in the world. Couldn't disagree with you there, Gaz. Okay, first game up is Sassuolo, minus 150, draw plus 335, and Benevento at plus 400. Now, Sassuolo, 3 duck eggs, which means no goals in the last 4 games. If ever you wanted a team to come to town, it's Benevento. But all of a sudden, can we trust Sassuolo to get the job done, Alex?
Yeah, 3 from 4 without goal. They beat Verona.
Did I not say that? 3 out of the last 4 duck eggs?
No, you said 4. But it's okay. You do mistakes. You are a human. You are a human. Human being. Very good host. Very good punter. But you're a human. Don't be Robocop here with us. Caputo is out. Kirikesh and De Frel are out. Romania also. On the other side, Iago Falche is out. Also one of their most important players of Benevento. Also, Benevento doesn't do really good. Yes, they are 13 in the standings, but they're not looking like a Serie A squad. Let's be honest. The odds are too low on Sassuolo, 1.65. I will not touch those odds, but I will not put anyone of an under 2.5 goals, or let's say an under 3 goals at 1.95, because the under 2.5 is at 2.5. So under 3 goals at 1.95. I wouldn't put, it's just a lean, but I don't have anything for this match.
Okay, Fab, can you just turn Alex up a little bit for me? As I'm getting older, I'm finding it harder to hear. Waz says he can't trust them like Torino and Fiorentina. Well, we're going to go on to that in a while. I've got no opinion on Sassuolo versus Benevento. I think that it's going to be dour, and it's best left alone because there is low-hanging fruit this week, and I have stuck 4 together for a plus 520 parlay, which I'm not complicating it neither. Next game, Alex, is Crotone at plus 155, draw plus 245, and Spezia at plus 160.
We watched this game live together last Saturday. We are talking week in and week out about how good Spezia are. They were very, very unlucky not to take at least 1 point from Lazio. They must improve a little bit with finishing there. But they have all the weapons to beat this Crotone side, who are dreadful last in the standings. There only 6 goals scored in 10 matches, no wins. The only team that remains with no wins in 10 games in Serie A. I think that Spezia are by far the better side between the two. The team spirit is there. The quality from middle and up. We were talking, and you were saying also that. Look how many players they have on the half of Lazio. You know how many players they are.
Yeah, I've wrote it down. Honestly, I'm like Spezia, so positive. I do bullet points for obviously every team, and I put Spezia. They're so positive, and they get 5 to 6 men in the box when the ball's in wide areas. They get 5 or 6 men in the box against this Crotone side. I mean, listen, plus 160 looks like great value, but you could do draw no bet, Spezia. I don't think they get beat.
This is what I'm doing. I'm doing draw no bet at 2.0. I think that this is the bet to go. You are not risking nothing.
It's a free bet, surely.
I mean, yes, Crotone will win this season sometime soon, you know. But Spezia right now are in amazing shape. They lost in their last 3 matches, you know, against whom? Against AC Milan, against Juventus, and against Lazio, and Sassuolo at the beginning of the season. So those 4 defeats came against top sides, sides in the top 5. You know, Milan, Juventus, Sassuolo, and Lazio in the top 7. But against the last team standing there, Crotone, I think that. This Spezia side has all the necessary weapons to go and win it, but it's good to bet it with draw no bet because you don't know at the end of the day. So at 2.0 even money, even in case of a draw, you don't lose it, but it's one of those, you know.
Yeah, their mindset is so look forward, and I love teams like that. When I coached, when I went and looked at teams, I wanted them teams when as soon as they got the ball, they were already thinking, can we pass forward? And that's what Spezia do, but they don't stand and admire their pass. They get it out wide and they look to get on the end of things. So for me, Spezia draw no bet, plus 100, Alex. I think you're right on the money. Money suit.
Barsaman is saying total team goals over 1.5 at 2.28. In their wins, they are always scoring at least 2 goals. And Crotone are the type of also a positive side. They are going in attack no matter whom their opponent are. So I think that this is a perfect opponent for Spezia, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a Money Suit said there'll be a penalty. You're going out on a limb there, Money. There's a penalty in every single game now. Even when there's not a penalty, the referee finds a way to give a penalty. And Ud says, Tan's maid must be absent. He's actually on CNN because obviously the Italian legend, forevermore, by the way, Paolo Rossi, died yesterday at the age of 64. So he is being pulled from one pillar to the post, and he will be with us ASAP. Now let's move on.
Imagine Diego Armando Maradona, now Paolo. I think that Tancredi is very, very occupied with CNN, being sports, and he doesn't have time for us. The little
don't stop us. Stick it. Listen, I'm going to give him plenty stick. This is his bread and butter. We are the people that made Tancredi Palmieri. Before he come to us, no one knew him, no one liked him, and now all of a sudden everyone wants a piece of him. So listen, priorities. We will be battering him. Don't worry about that. Here's another team you cannot trust. And yet the opposition, I mean, it looks like a draw. It's Torino plus 200, draw plus 240, and Udinese at plus 160. Alex, Udinese are like at home. They find confidence when they get beat. Torino, they're so reliant on the boy up top. Belotti runs around. He's almost like their Ronaldo. But I see this being a 1-1 draw. So in other words, you either do the draw, both teams to score, or you leave it.
I think that both teams to score at 1.73 right now. I think it's money in the bag, you know. I think that you cannot go bad with this at 1.72. Udinese are coming after a superb 3-1 win overall against Lazio. I think that they had also another match. Yes, they had to play with Atalanta this week on Monday. On Sunday, and that match was postponed due to weather. But still, they are one of the positive sides in my opinion. And Torino always fail to keep a clean sheet. They are good going forward. So I think that this 1.72 for both teams to score is the place to be. Also, I'm looking also at the over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.92. Yeah, you will say that the trend between these two teams is not over 2.5 goals, because the last 5 of them were unders, and in 4 of the last 5 we didn't see both teams scoring, only in 1 of them in the last 5. But we're talking about another season, a totally different season, full of totally different problems. We've never seen in our lives such a season. So I think that you can really not put your bets on stats. So both teams to score at 1.72 is my lean for this game.
Yeah, the problem I have with Torino is the opposite to Spezia. They don't get enough bodies in the box. They're so reliant on their talisman. And it's almost like they give him the ball and say, go on, then you go and do something. Whereas Udinese, they're more of a unit. They move forward together. They move back together. I mean, I suppose Udinese draw no bet might be the way to go, around plus 100 as well. But, yeah, both teams to score. It looks like a 1-1. It looks like a 1-1. So just leave it alone. Now, Lazio plus 150 got the job done for us midweek with both teams to score. The old Alex Classic came in, draw plus 300, and Verona at plus 425. I'm not complicating this. Lazio go into my parlay because they're overcommitting. Listen, they might not keep a clean sheet. It might be an Alex Classic, Verona, but you can't trust Verona. So I'm just going to trust Lazio to go and score more.
You can't trust Verona, but you've seen Lazio with Club Brugge. They were about to go in Europa League with a few minutes to go. Club Brugge played amazing with one man down, and Lazio were absolutely horrendous in the second half. I don't know what happened to them at halftime. Of course, they were up, but still, Club Brugge were minutes away from qualifying in the Champions League knockout stages. We said it, Lazio are one of the teams that are conceding in every single game, and I don't think that this will be different. So both teams to score and the over 2.5, the old Alex Classic at around 1.9 is the way to go. But again, with a lean.
Listen, Verona scared the life out of Juve last week as well. The big thing about me for Lazio is I think that Bruges were absolutely outstanding. I mean, they got themselves 2-1 up. Then they went into protective mode, which is always dangerous. I know that Bruges had 10 men, but what they did was they went with 2 at the back and they had pushed their fullbacks on. So all of a sudden, that negates the extra man because the keeper comes out 30 yards. He becomes a sweeper. So then all of a sudden, if they bypass the midfield like they did, Bruges, then they're straight at their defence. They're straight onto Lazio, and Lazio need numbers in the box because they do not mark properly. Hence the reason they've not kept many clean sheets. But this weekend, I'm happy with Lazio. I'm happy for them to go and pick up points and now concentrate on Serie A. And they're the first leg of my 14 parlay, which comes to plus 520. Cagliari next game, Alex, plus 800, score most weeks as well. Draw plus 450, and Inter at minus 230. Inter got through they got through the game by the skin of their teeth, but no Champions League, no Europa League. So that means midweek's off for them, so they're going to be fresh come Serie A. I see this as being a massive positive for them to be the Scudetto main challengers.
Main challengers for who?
For Milan.
For Milan, not for Juventus. Okay.
No.
Yeah, this being out of the Champions League and the Europa League comes also with a plus, not only with minuses. And you pointed exactly the plus. Their main focus is to win Serie A. They failed to do that last season. Maybe this season they can solve that. Their only problem is their lack of consistency. They have some incredible moments in the game, and after that they have exactly after a few minutes some very down moments. You cannot understand what is happening with that team. You cannot understand Conte also. Conte is a very weird coach. Hardly you can understand him. During 1 week, he might change a lot of stuff from the last week. He won't keep the same strategy all the time. And I think that
overcomplicates it.
Yes, exactly. He's overcomplicating. He has some amazing players from the midfield and up, and he's overcomplicating. I would even play with Lukaku, Alexis Sanchez, and Lautaro Martinez in the same starting 11. Lukaku a little bit behind the strikers. I think that would be a brilliant idea moving forward in Serie A. They were a little bit unlucky, to be honest, against the Shakhtar. They created a lot of opportunities, but very unlucky. But now it's time for them to move on. The only thing I'm thinking here is that they will not return to their good mindset in time for this Cagliari match. They will mourn for this Champions League, being out of the Champions League, because with the win, they would take Gladbach's place and they will move forward in the competition. So it's very, very complicated what to play for this game. So I decided also, I'm putting in balance here that Cagliari are still having their injury issues. Godin, Simeone are both out. Nandes also is out. So that is a big minus for them. Yes, against Verona, they came from 1 goal down to draw. to draw in that match and to add one more point to their season tally, but they were not impressive in my eyes. So I gave you one tip yesterday, but I will change it. I will play Inter and over 2.5 goals in the match at 1.75.
Okay, 1.75, which is minus 130. So make sure you remind me when I do the official picks, Alex. I see Inter being too strong, to be honest. I see Lukaku scoring anytime. Obviously, I'm not reinventing the wheel here. I just think that with the way that Cagliari defend, Lukaku's going to get plenty chances, and I'm happy to stick Inter in. I think they go and win. Okay, next game is my absolute banker. Atalanta. Minus 135. I expect that to be closer to maybe minus 145, minus 150 come Saturday, Sunday. Draw plus 330. And Fiorentina at plus 400. Now, last week I went for Fiorentina. After 15 minutes of the game, I saw it was just going to be a draw. So I bet the draw to make sure that plus 150, because they were a joke. They were void of pace. They didn't do anything quickly. Their energy levels were just shocking. The confidence levels were even lower. They're not running off the ball for each other. And their midfield boys, they've got no distribution. They've got no creativity and got away with absolute murder in the 97th minute. So for me, I'm going with Atalanta, -1 on the Asian handicap. And I did this yesterday when I put it out on Twitter. So if you don't follow us, you're not going to get and beat the books. At plus 125, Alex. I think it's a free bet.
Yeah, it's an interesting bet. We all thought that Prandelli will come and change Fiorentina. He didn't. One match, only 1 point in 2 matches. Yes, let's give it to them a little bit because they played AC Milan. They lost 2-0. After that, they failed to beat Genoa, almost the last team in the standings, 19th place there in the standings. Atalanta are coming after that 1-0 win against Ajax, with Papu Gomez, in my opinion, being the man of the match. So I think that the problems between him and the coach, Gasperini, are solved, and we can see the best of him going forward. A little bit Atalanta right now should win some points because they are 9th in the standings. This is not them. So yeah, I think that you're going with the right choice. -1, maximum avoid in my opinion. Atalanta, what I liked against Ajax is that they balanced the old Catenaccio style with their normal going forward approach. And this took Ajax by surprise. They did many fouls. This didn't give Ajax the necessary pace moving forward because Ajax needed the ball, and we know how dangerous they are. Of course, that Ajax are not Ajax for the last from 2 years ago. And Tancredi made a point with Atalanta draw double chance that won as a tip, So. Atalanta -1 looks good. Yeah, we are going to.
I believe it's a free bet because basically you've got -1 on the Asian handicap. So if you win the game 2-1, 1-0, 3-2, then you're just going to get your money back. But the big thing I'm not happy with now is I just told you that I've done it as a banker at plus 125. Andreas comes in the chat and says -1 Atalanta is at plus 175, which is 2.75. I'd like to know who that's with and whether that's -1.5 with the draw.
Talking about the European handicap, 2.95, -1 on the European. The Asian handicap is at 2.25, and the normal win is at 1.7. I think
that's what I thought.
You can go with Atalanta for a straight win also.
Well, but I have, funnily enough, I've gone double. I've gone as my banker is Atalanta to win at plus 125. I see that as an absolute shoo-in, and it's going to be my main banker throughout the 4 leagues. In fact, I've not even done a banker in a couple of the leagues this weekend because I found them very tricky. But then what I've done is I've already cashed it in my head. So then I've done a 14 parlay at plus 520 with half the money I'm going to win on Atalanta. So I'm all in Atalanta -1 Asian handicap. I've just heard in my ear that we might have Tan coming back. So we're going to go with...
Buongiorno, guys.
Oh, hello. Hello. So all of a sudden...
Hello there.
Everyone
sorry
in the chat...
Sorry for being late. Sorry.
No, just thank the people in the chat who have been sitting in your seat. So because you've now become the third guest in the chat, and Tan now will come second. So I'll put the number up. You come off, Tan. You come on, Tan. You've got a 1, 2, 3. You got 4 games. So as a manager, I would say go on there and get me a goal, Tan. We were just talking about Atalanta and Fiorentina. It's Atalanta -1 Asian handicap at +125 because they win the game. Fiorentina are nothing short of a joke. I want to say disgusting because their pace, naught. Movement, naught. Energy, naught. So for me, it's Atalanta all the way.
Yeah, let's give a bit of insight. Buongiorno to everybody. Let's give a bit of insight. I don't know if Alex already touched on that, on the situation that is happening on Atalanta, that we already actually spoke about before the Champions League show. But actually, Gasperini, even if he's not the Atalanta manager, even if he's not gonna resign, but he has admitted that the spat with Gomez and Ilicic has happened, and so that the situation is ongoing. So they had this fantastic team reaction against Ajax, but we don't really know what is expected for Atalanta in the future. That's the opposite of an ideal situation of seeing this fantastic mood that was there just melting down. I believe they will feel the fatigue also of the game in Amsterdam. Fiorentina, it is true, it's very hard to see them now, to watch them, to see them achieve be a slow start. Atalanta can win this game easily, but not at the very beginning. So I believe in a draw at the halftime. If you give me 2 minutes chance, I can go through the 5 games we have been through, you've been through, with 30 seconds for each. If you are
I'd like
with
to see that. I'd like to see that.
Okay.
Why don't we all sit back? Okay. Why don't you just sit back, Alex? I'll sit back. The third guest, who was the second guest, has come off. And we'll just give the show to Alex. And by the way, you're watching CNN. So, yeah, just take it away.
Sassuolo Benevento, in my opinion, here is going to be Sassuolo to win. Too much waiting for Sassuolo to get back to those 3 points. I feel that now, after having actually even very difficult games, Benevento, even in the style Benevento are playing, can fit good enough to Sassuolo. And if you look at the odds, actually are too much interesting not to be picked up. No, but I can't be disturbed while I'm talking. Otherwise,
not even those two promotion for the second game. Crotone,
not even those 2 minutes and a half. Can I?
No. You said 30 seconds for every match. You know.
Yeah, and I was smoothly switching to the second. But if you at least give me the 3-1 counting, not the same. Okay, was switching to Crotone, Spezia. Crotone are in a desperate situation. As much they are trying to play, but their technical limits are really too wide, too much to clash with the others. Thing is that Spezia on the other side instead are getting the results of what they are producing on the pitch. Maybe even beyond their expectations. And this could maybe take a little bit, just a little bit of motivations for them going to play in Crotone. Would that be enough for Crotone to win or to get a points? We don't know. But for sure, they know that it is one of those crucial games where they need to get something. So both teams to score in that. Switching to Torino, Udinese. Mamma mia. It is very, thanks to Freddy that is in control room and switching game to game. Torino, Udinese, mamma mia, both of them. It's very hard to see them playing. Very hard for the watcher, for the spectators. Boring against more boring, or maybe even the same. What we know is that Udinese at least are getting something, while Torino cannot even count on Belotti's performance, dropping just game by game, playing only on ability to resist. But for this reason, what I'm seeing is that when you dig to the very last point, you need to start to bounce back. The odds on double chance on Torino to win or a draw are very, very high. And to be honest, Udinese hadn't been so good, that good, to justify that favor in this game. So Torino to win or a draw. Switching.
Torino to win? Whoa.
No, double chance.
Come back. Did you say, so basically like a draw, no bet? I mean, we thought that Torino and Udinese was probably both teams to score looking at a 1-1, but I mean, you can't just say Torino to win and expect me to take that.
No.
Double chance at 1.5 square.
Yeah, there you go.
It's never good enough. Switching to Lazio Verona.
Now, and by the way, you're doing a great job, Fab. Thanks for sticking these along the bottom for everyone, because they'll be joining us halfway through and think, why is Tan going through the third game 30 minutes in? Well, Tan was actually busy
because he got $1,000 from CNN.
The death of Paolo Rossi, who's Spain 82 World Cup hero, and obviously not just for Italy. He was an inspiration, and he was my first real World Cup at the age of 10. So, yeah, a proper legend forevermore.
I will ask you about that if later we have time.
Yeah, a little bit later, right?
I want to hear about
Verona.
that. Yes. Lazio Verona. We learned, and actually, if you watch Serie A, we learned that already last year. Verona against big teams are always performing. Out of 15, 17 games they played last year, also this year, again, the very big ones, they maybe failed only a couple of times if we talk about performance. And the Lazio game against Bruges was particularly stressful for their mind. Everything seemed to be set to win the game. They were 1 goal up, 2 goals up actually, and 1 man down Bruges, 60 minutes to the end. It was supposed to be smooth, and instead they almost reached to throw away the Champions League qualification. I believe that this fallout of finally getting accomplished the Champions League task will play a bit in the minds of players. Verona are sitting on the left, always performing good against the big ones. That's why I go here with a double chance draw. How do you call it in English? Draw no bet, double chance for Verona. So draw or Verona to win.
Yeah, double chance.
Double chance. Double chance.
Okay, well, we'll have a look at that when we see your picks. Now, Cagliari and Inter, please, Tan.
Guys, here we are getting close to the Tan madness. When I saw yesterday the odds before then the news came while I was writing the aborted insight on Serie A that couldn't be pulled out. When I saw the odds on Cagliari, I said something must be wrong. Clearly here, the bookmakers are believing that Inter are violently bouncing back after what happened. Now, Inter, we know that they are able to do the wrong thing almost every time. Probably the biggest club in the world that is able to do that. Cagliari at home are very solid. Maybe nothing to be enthusiastic about, but very solid for sure. Giving a hard time to everybody. And especially fitting to a team that is that loves to dictate the game, like Inter at least is trying to do. The psychological effect, for sure, there will be on Inter. We saw 1 year ago, 2 years ago, when Inter was kicked out of Champions League in December, they were at the top of the table, and then for the following 2 months, they just had to spiral down. Cagliari is a very tough ground for them. When I saw those odds on Cagliari, I said, madness. They are so high that even the double chance on Cagliari to win or a draw is good enough, but not decent enough. Very good enough. It is, in my opinion, not picking the double chance on Cagliari. It's a risk you don't want to take.
Okay, and what about Atalanta versus Fiorentina? Because there's my banker.
That's your bank. Well, no, as I told you, I would go with draw at the halftime.
Okay, lovely. Okay, Alex. Alex, sorry to keep you so long there. Thanks for being very, very patient with us. We're now ready for you. It's Bologna at plus 275, draw plus 285, and Roma at plus 100. The plus 100, whenever you see an away side of the Romas and the Juves, is it a trap?
It's not a trap because I'm not even considering to play the winners market here. That's why it's not a trap. I think that this has the Alex Classic written all over it. I think that this is the kind of game that you cannot miss on Alex Classic here. Also from their last head-to-heads, also from the type that Bologna are playing at home. They are scoring goals also, they are conceding. Roma, amazing going forward. So you cannot go wrong here with the Alex Classic at 1.8. This is my lean, and I will take it with my head closed.
Yeah, I mean, Bologna, they're decent at home, but they're starting to be a little bit better than decent away from home as well. Tan, Bologna are going to beat some big sides this year. Do they start this weekend with Roma?
First, Alex, did I slice in rightly in those 2 minutes and a half for the 5 games?
I don't know. I didn't measure the time.
Only we're going to have a look at the time because I had a bet and it was minus 110 on you to go over.
And I did, and I make it on time. I guess. Then
probably he won the bet.
Yeah, probably, no doubt.
Look. This time is a positive look. We know how easily Bologna are letting goals in, as we knew that with Inter would happen again, and it actually did. There is a path that is happening for both of them, and it's the goals coming in the second half, especially for Bologna. It is almost happening to them in every match.
Okay, so are you fancying like over 1.5 in the second half?
Yes, indeed. Oh, how do you know me? Oh, you are my bookie boyfriend. Oh, how do you know me? Yes, over 1.5 goals in the second half. Definitely fitting. Both of them, when they are getting goals, they are always going in that path.
Okay, well,
let's say that the over 1.5 goals in the second half is at 1.66.
Okay, and Money Suit in the chat, he's gone with a different angle, and I'll be interested on both of you to give him a bit of an education here or an opinion. And it's Bologna to have over 2.5 cards. Do you think they get stuck into Roma, Alex?
Cards?
Yeah.
Bookings?
Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, probably yes. I like the fact that Roma's players are very good with the ball. They take you one-on-one. They will pass you. They are passing very well between each other. So, I think that he's on point there with at least 3 cards for Bologna.
Tan, you see Bologna getting rattled into Roma?
That is a very clever call. It is happening often. The way, as above and aside the result, Bologna has been completely crashed by Inter. I have watched, I think, 8 out of the 10 games Bologna played in this season, and I never saw them so much outplayed. Never. Mihajlovic himself recognized they were like that, even all the players. When it is like that, you want also a psychological reaction from your team. We know that Mihajlovic can get that. That reaction is involving also be tough on the pitch.
Okay. Also, you have to think who is the referee for this game, and the referee for this game is Calvarese.
Always, whenever you do cards.
Gianpaolo Calvarese. So you have to watch a little bit his statistics.
With Calvarese, so that definitely can happen.
This is a good point. So
Mr. NJ, Alex. Mr. NJ says, will there be a goal scored in either half? So in other words, will it be 0-0 at half time? Because we know there'll be goals second half.
No. I don't think that there will not be any goal in the first half. I think that there will be at least 1 goal in the first half. I think that a goal in both halves, but I think that the odds are very low on that. I don't know how much.
Let's just shop around. Over 2.5 goals from Money Suit. We like that. And we like the most goals in the second half. Alex Classic. So we're just going with goals. Next game is Napoli, who have really been on fire recently. Minus 165, Tam, draw plus 400, and Sampdoria at plus 700.
It's not part of my top 5 picks, but I go with, for some. Okay, I want to. Here I would go with a draw at the halftime. Tonight, Napoli Real Sociedad. It's going to be tough. Exactly. Let's remind Real Sociedad are the second in Liga, and they are playing for qualification. It's not like there is nothing at stakes. They are playing for qualification. They are playing for the first spot that can give a better placing in the ballots, in the pots, at the draw. Obviously, it's not like a huge difference like it makes arriving first and second in Champions League, but still. Anyway, it is a serious game, and it is against the most serious opponent. Sampdoria, they didn't play badly against Milan. It's just that Milan was better. Probably they were even unlucky with referees because there was for sure one penalty missing for them. But we know that maybe they aren't anything particularly special, Sampdoria. But they are doing their easy task. They are always there. They are delivering. So, in my opinion, they could block at the beginning a Napoli who could still feel the fatigue for Napoli Real Sociedad game. So I pick here a draw at the halftime.
Yeah, you like that draw at the halftime at the moment. What about you, Alex? I see this as a mismatch if Napoli put their best foot forward. Now, obviously, we don't want no injuries or anything going against in the Sociedad game tonight. But with Napoli at the moment, they have a real hunger and they have the bit between their teeth. And listen, they're 4-0. I think they go and win this game comfortably.
Let's also say that this Real Sociedad team, whom they are playing today in Europa League, are coming after 4 draws in a row, in which they failed to score in 2 of them because they have their injury issues with Ilaramendi, Oyarzabal, Silva. So they are struggling at the moment. I think that Napoli needs a draw to qualify further in the competition, and I think that they will take that draw. We will see where they will qualify, but first or second, but I think that they will qualify. They failed to beat AZ Alkmaar last week. I didn't expect that, to be honest. I thought that they will beat AZ Alkmaar and they will do squad rotation for this Real Sociedad. But I think that their main focus is Serie A. From the time that Armando Maradona news came in, 4-0 against Roma, 4-0 against Crotone. Okay, let's say that against Crotone, they were 1 goal up when Crotone received the red card. And after that, Lozano, Deme, and Petagna scored in the last 30 minutes of the game. I was very afraid for more goals because I had Napoli and under 4.5, you know. So I was very nervous when I saw Petriccione receiving that red card in the 58th minute. Because I saw now they will score 5, you know. But thank God that they didn't do that. Yeah, I think that they will win against Sampdoria. I don't have an official pick for this one, but one of a tip from this match is included in my 2 teams parlay that you can find on sbrpicks.com is Napoli and over 1.5 goals in the match.
So if you just press the link in the description, that'll take you over. So listen, don't just focus on the pictures. I'll put the timestamps in, which we will find underneath at the end of this video. But also, there's loads of different links for you to go over. So don't just be lazy and sit there and like listen and watch us, because you can go over and do a bit of reading as well. Alex, I'm going to come with you because Genoa at plus 950, they were dog awful against Fiorentina as well. Broke away in the 86th minute and got a goal. And then let one in the 97th minute. They were awful. I went on record straight away. I'm fading Genoa. I'm fading Fiorentina. Draw plus 400. And Juve at minus 300. We saw the old Juve playing against Barcelona midweek. They got themselves in front. Penalty, no penalty. Well, it was a penalty because the referee give it. And Ronaldo done what he does. But I'm not having that Ronaldo's the best striker in the world. All he does is score penalties, Alex.
Yeah, I cannot say that Ronaldo is the best striker in the world either. But we're talking about Genoa and we're talking about who is the best between Genoa and Crotone. And I think that Crotone are a little bit, despite sitting 4 points behind the Genoa right now, Genoa are worse than Crotone. So I think that the win against Barcelona was exactly what Juventus needed. And they will fire all their cylinders into this game. And I think that this is their focus right now. Serie A, because they qualified from the first spot. They needed to win 3-0 against Barcelona. They did it with Ronaldo scoring 2 goals, Messi none. So all the pluses are on this mental side of Juventus players. Let's say that Morata is still suspended due to that red card received two rounds ago. Yes, so he will miss another round, this one against Genoa. But Juventus can destroy them in this match. I'm taking Juventus minus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at even money.
Yeah, listen, I just I just see Juve winning. I'm not complicating it. I'm sticking him in the parlay minus 300. Sammy, the best striker in the world, plays in Germany. Yeah, agreed. Tan, Juve.
Look, the game against Barcelona, it has been the best of Juve in this season, but in possibly in 1 year, they were absolutely perfect. But we can't forget what they were against Benevento, against Crotone, against Spezia. So it is to understand, to make a balance. It's true that Barcelona won 2-0 in the first leg and destroyed them.
Yeah.
Also, we know that Barcelona is having their worst start in 35 years in Liga. When they met Juventus in the first leg, was Barcelona in confidence. Now it was completely under that. Juventus were good enough, very good enough, to just run over Barcelona. And that is never easy in Camp Nou. It's never easy, even if it's an empty Camp Nou. But it makes a huge difference to have Cristiano Ronaldo and to have not Cristiano Ronaldo. We know also that. And Cristiano Ronaldo, there will be against Genoa. But we know also, on the other side, that Barcelona, even against Juventus, they like to play the ball, they like to try to impose the game, but they don't have neither the pace, either the creativity at the moment to try to impose the game. So they completely expose themselves to Juventus counter-attacks, transitions, interceptions. Now, one thing is Juventus playing against such a team like Barcelona, maybe too self-confident and so exposing themselves. Another thing is Juventus playing against Genoa, that at the moment are crap. Completely crap.
They are.
Totally. They are very, very bad. Much worse than what is their level. But still, it is a desperate team. A desperate team that will try to play a desperate game with little quality, but will try to play a desperate game, and Juventus will have to restore that same pace. I don't think so they will be able. Still, I go with Juventus to win, and I go with them being able to be ahead half-time and full-time, which is actually giving a good value. I'm not sure if I go with them with some particular handicap, exactly for this reason, because could be enough for them to put in dust the game, but not being able to rip apart Genoa, because anyway, it's a different game from Barcelona's.
Jeremiah in the chat says, Genoa will step up. Jeremiah, no. Give yourself a shake. You go anywhere near Genoa in this game, get yourself on the naughty step. Because I tell you what, or just get your money, drive along, open your window and go like that. Because you'll get more value by chucking it out the window than going anywhere near Genoa.
Also, innocent Wachira said, never missed a show because I have subscribed and turned on the notification bell as Flash says. We would like you also to put that thumbs up. We have 54 thumbs up in 100. This is Flash's job. What am I even saying that?
Hey, it's a team game, Alex.
But no. Flash, thumbs up.
Exactly. If you're not happy, but I did notice there was more thumbs up when Tam wasn't here. and the one.
I'm sorry, I'm ruining this. Shall we do a social experiment? I get out of 5 minutes and I come back another 5 minutes.
What do you mean? Shall we do a social experiment? We've already done that social experiment.
You want to minimize in a microcosm of.
Listen. I want to get the chairman to have a word with my player, Mr. Tancredi Palmieri, and I want to know that he's going to commit to the club. I want to know that he doesn't want to pay as you play contract.
You are bringing in the chairman. Wow.
I will go to Tancredi as we've got him on loan. I'll use him as much as I possibly can. Milan at minus 300, draw plus 450, and Parma, nobody's fools, at plus 900. A little bit of a banana skin here, potentially. Double chance at plus 900 for Parma, Tan?
No. I go with Milan half-time, full-time, year two, and with much more confidence than with Juventus, because the Milan confidence is high. Again, actually, they are even improving game by game. Until 3 games ago, they were winning, but they were not impressing. The last 3 games, they are improving. Again, possibly they are not doing something different or something so special, but they are focused in the game for 90 minutes, bouncing back the normal difficulties that a game is putting you in front of. I'm really impressed. I wonder how do you feel week in, week out to see that your unbelievable prediction on Milan is actually keeping up, because 10 games to go, Milan have 5 points gap. It's unbelievable to see them 1/3 of the season, 1/4 of the season still at that point. And Parma, they aren't impressed. Against Benevento, it was Benevento. It was a 0-0, but it was Benevento who had to complain for not winning. Parma did absolutely nothing. Benevento had at least 4 clear goal chances. It was a bit, honestly, humbling for Parma to play at home against Benevento in such a poor way. Also, last but not least, Ibrahimovic might even be back. So, really, half-time, full-time, Milan.
Half-time, full-time, Milan for you. That. Obviously, I'm not going against Milan, but I'm just trying to give the other side of the coin, Alex. And Parma, they score goals, but it's one of those. Parma let me down last week. They were plus 100 at home, and it was a trap.
I wanted to ask Tan about a little bit about Ibrahimovic and also about Osimhen. So Ibrahimovic is almost ready to play?
Apparently, yes. The decision is whether if to risk him already on Sunday against Parma or to wait, because as we know, and we also will have all the many shows covering that, in the next 2 weeks, Serie A will play
2 midweek rounds.
But totally 5 games in 14 days. It's Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. So they are... Osimhen hardly will make it on time before Christmas.
But it's very important for Milan. It's very important for Milan that they have back Leao, so that is a huge plus for AC Milan. Leao is back, he can play, he's fully fit, but I still can give Parma plus 1.5 on the Asian handicap at 2.1 and also both team to score at 1.9. I think that this is the value that you can go flash. Just 2 leans for both matches, but I can see Parma not losing by more than 1 goal difference.
Yeah, and the other thing is with Milan, they go on autopilot once they hit the front. And obviously, they're almost like you're prodding a bear. If they go one behind or someone gets an equaliser, they step up a gear. And this is what I like about them. They respond. They've got a great attitude and they've got a great team spirit. Just a couple of things from the chat.
Also, Waz is making a good point. I think that we should go with corners. Milan are dominating the match. They
like to go wide.
Score. And on over 9.5 is the line right now for corners. So I think that we can easily see 10 corners in this match.
Let me thank Waz that he said. In the previous show, he asked me where I was in Italy. He's in Milan. And let me also make a petition. Guys, we are at 66 likes. Now, they are putting me, crucifying myself for not getting to 100 likes. Now, clearly, my position here is at stake until the point that I don't know if I could
just be sacked.
I could be sacked before the next show and you don't see me. So what I'm asking you, we'll probably have 5 more minutes of show to wrap up and possibly with a couple of talks about Paolo Rossi if
there's 67 thumbs up. There's 146,
if the skipper will agree,
watching. That's
guys,
about 48%.
if you want me to stay in the show, but not, I want to stay, but I don't know if they want me to stay.
Yeah.
If you want me to, if they want them to keep me in the show, please bring those 66 to 100. I know it's a very difficult feat and achievement from 66 to 100 in only 5 minutes. But if there is anybody that can do it, you can do it. If you care about having me in the show, please do it.
Don't beg.
I am begging. When you are asking, I am begging. Yes, of course.
All right, Fab, stick up the picks. Let's have a little look where the money's going this week in Serie A. Week 11, and remember, we are at 0.38 as an overall team. So this is the week we kick in, and that's why I've gone the way I've gone. Now, Spezia, draw no bet, plus 100. Looks like a free bet to me, Alex. Juve, minus 1.5 at plus 100. Great odds. And Cagliari, Alex Classic, minus 125. Now, Tancredi's picks. Cagliari, double chance at plus 225. Sassuolo, minus 135. Milan, half-time, before time, at minus 110. Juve, half-time, full-time, plus 100. I fancy if Juve winning half-time, full-time, then Alex is going to get his plus 100 as well. And Verona, double chance at plus 130. That's almost like the Tan madness. For me, I've gone with Juve, just straight win, don't complicate it. All four of these don't complicate it. Lazio, Napoli, and Atalanta. That pays you plus 520. I really like that 14 parlay. But my absolute banker that gives me a free bet on them four is Atalanta, minus 1 on the Asian handicap, plus 125. I see myself 2 stakes already gone on. I put it on Twitter to make sure, because I thought they'd do okay yesterday. So I thought that might come down. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means we'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And that means that if you've rung the bell, that we will, on this time, on Monday, we will be doing a Serie A midweek show. So please set your diaries. Also, we'll be doing a Bundesliga show next Monday and a Premier League show on Monday. So that means I'll have to get more clothes out of my wardrobe. But I really appreciate everything you do as our third guest. It's so important. I'm so happy that you've nearly got up to 100. So you must.
Wait. No, wait. Yeah, only 2 minutes passed. We are at 84. Guys, only 16
Yeah, but the thing is, if we get to 99, I'm going to give it one of those. Let's go off.
Give 3 minutes more to the show. Give 3 minutes more to the show.
Okay, and obviously, Tan. Hang on, Tan. I know you listen, you're like full of beans this morning. Oh, sorry, this afternoon where you are, but for me, it's like the middle of the night. Press the link in the description because Tan and Alex and Martin, they've all done you parlays and they've done articles. So go over and give them a read because they might just give you a different slant. I love the corners shout. I love the card shout. These are all things that we must put in because remember, we are a team. So I thank the third, was a second guest, but you got dragged off. Tan, thanks for turning up.
Wait, we are at 89. Wait a sec. Give 2 minutes. Actually, this is serious.
I'm getting too close to this 100 thumbs up.
No. Wait. I wanted to ask you actually, but that was serious because you mentioned that your memory of Paolo Rossi because you said
it was unbelievable. Yeah, it was the first real World Cup. I remember the 78 World Cup, but Spain 82 was when I had the sticker book, Paolo Rossi, Altobelli, Gentili, and obviously Dino's off. And I can tell you a really quick story. I was very, very good friends with an Italian family who went to school with me. I used to stay at their house, and my friend's dad used to clip Dino's off around the ears because he always wanted to play cards with him when he was growing up and he was only like a little nipper. No. So for me, and obviously Dino's off was the captain. Goalkeeping captains weren't really the fashion. But when he scored that hat trick, I've gone goosebumpy here, being a striker myself. Yeah, Paolo Rossi was everything and he set the way. So for me, yeah, absolutely.
Was it in Friuli? Was it in the Friuli region that you were in that house?
Udinese, yeah.
Udine. Was it in Udine? But I wanted to ask you another thing. As a player, tell to the watchers what kind of player you were.
He was a fox in the box.
No, you. No. I'm asking to you, Flash, and you will understand why. What kind of player you were?
I was a runner who could score goals. I was sharp. but I was nowhere near in the class of Paolo Rossi. Paolo Rossi was your original fox in the box. He was one of them players that could find space in the box by standing still and let the defenders move away from him.
But see, I've asked you this, and meanwhile, we just missed 7 likes, guys. And we have time only for defense.
Okay, he's buying time, everybody.
No. I really wanted to ask you this.
Sammy's saying that the Italian Red Bulls hit differently.
Considering the kind of skills you had, watching Paolo Rossi, that actually you couldn't compare to other. There were the Rummenigge, the Zico, the Maradona, very skilled player. And that it was him who was actually normal guy, no particular skill, but a fox, clever. Was he an inspiration for you, like saying, look, he's normal?
Yeah, no, he was, because you see a lot of his goals, they were all inside maybe the penalty spot to the goal. He never really came outside of the frame, and he was always getting across his marker. So for me, he only needed like less than half a yard to get that strike on goal, get across his mark. Listen, he was excellent. He was almost the perfect goal scorer for me, because he was lethal in the box, and obviously scoring that hat trick as well when everyone else was going across to all the other major stars. For me, it was absolutely brilliant. And I tell you what, just a quick one. When Toto Scalacci came and did what he did in Italy 90, every time Toto scored, I thought of Paolo Rossi. Have a great weekend, everybody. And remember, we've got Bundesliga coming up again soon.
100!
So, thanks, Tan. Thanks, Alex.
It's 100. It's 100.
Have a great time.
Campioni del mondo. Campioni del mondo. Ciao.